Pleasant good afternoon. My name is Byron Denninson. Actor face to that name. Yes. We are here. Well, I am here. Sorry. Um, installing our. I have actually installed a security system. The brand name for this system is the DSC Neo panel, as the HS32. The HS32 is 32 zones. I will be explaining what a zone is in a short while, but I will be basically introducing you to some of the components and how the system works. To start off with, we have the control panel. You notice we also have a module here. This is a communicator. It is called a TL280E, and as you can see here, it has internet connection. So basically this panel can communicate over the internet, or we call TCP/IP protocol. The panel is made up of several components. We have a backup battery, 12 volt 8 amp hour battery. You have an open frame transformer that takes 110 or 220 current and turns it into 16.5 volt, which the security system, which is this board behind here, uses to power the system. Now, as you can see, we have, I don't know if you can see, a bell output. That's the siren. You have 4 cables right here: black, red, white, and green. Could be any other color, but we are recommended to use those. That is for the keypad. And let me introduce you to the keypad. Keypad is the input device that you can use to arm or disarm the system, right? We also have an additional power supply here. This power supply is what I use to send power to the devices in the field. Now we are currently using what we call photo beams. Those are those devices on the pole there. I'll be showing one in another video shortly, outlining what it does. And these devices are basically, as I said, beams. They look in a straight line. If somebody should jump the fence, they would trigger and they would create an alarm. We also have some cameras, which I will explain in a bit. As you see around, this is a guardhouse on a construction site. We have a siren. This is the output device, the warning device. It gives off an alert. As you can see, we have 16 cameras connected to a DVR right here, but that's another, that will be discussed shortly. Now, in order to enter this system, as an installer, you would go to *85555, and the screen would light up like this, asking you for a section number. These panels, or these security systems, use what we call a section number. So to program the system to function, for example, each zone that is connected to the system, you would go into this section, right? Now the panel has a total of 8 hard zones built onto this panel here, right? As you can see, right? I'll be showing some pictures with what that looks like. This diagram shows you all the connections. So 8 zone meaning that if the perimeter has, if the property has 8 sides, you could put 8 independent devices on either 8 sides, and it would, once someone jump one of those sides, it would go off. Or 8 different sections of the property. Now within the security system, you don't only use what we call photo beams. We have motion detectors, which I will be getting into. You have vibration sensors, you have shock sensors, you have a wide range of sensors. Now, as you can see, I am in programming mode. To go to the zone programming, I'd go to 001, and it would take me to zone 1. I would press star, and it would say zone 1. What kind of zone? How does the first zone that is on this panel, how should it work? We want it to be triggered instantly if someone comes over the fence. So we press star. The second zone will be the same thing, instant, we press star. The third zone will be the same thing, we press star. The fourth zone is a hold up panic, which is placed under the bench. So if someone, as you can see, it's a panic button under the bench. If someone should press this button, or the guard should press that button, it would send a signal to the panel, and the panel would have someone, what we call a central station, monitoring to see that the panel has sent an alert. We can press star. We have latch type 24-hour tamper. This is for these buttons on the panel in case somebody decide to get naughty and try to open the panel. It would immediately alarm out and would send an alert to the central station, central monitoring station. Now as you can see, we have other peripherals, like the panel is wired using various kind of cables. We have 22-2, which means this cable here has 4 cables, so that's the reason that I call 22-4, sorry. 22 is a gauge, and the 4 stand for the 4 independent wires inside that gauge. You have 22-10, which is 10 wires, 5 pairs of wire in one single shielding. These power supplies, as you have here, this red device here in the box is a power supply. It is connected to a transformer as well. Transformer feeds 16.5 volts, which then distributes 12 volts or 24 volts to the devices around the field. It also has a backup battery in the event that the system goes down. You can add additional batteries like what we have here, and basically that's what we have here. Going back to the keypad, as I said, it is 8 zone. We are at zone 5. Press star again, you would come to zone number 6, which is an instant. That is some vibrations on the back of the grid, the grid outside. If you go outside and look at the property, we don't want anyone trying to tear down the fence. It goes all the way down. We put 2 in 2 boxes down there. So we go to zone 6. We have a zone 7. We have a delay. That should not be a delay. That should be 0, 0, 3. It should be an instant zone. Zone 8 is null. Now, as I said, this panel goes up to 32 zone. It can be more if you add zone expanders. I think this panel should go up to 130, 128 zones. What a zone expander does, it actually allows you, based on the fact that the panel would have 8 hardwired zones, it actually allows you to add additional zones, what you would have to program within the panel, each section. Now, star 8, sorry, come out of that. When you come out, you should get these 2 lights. This is a trouble light showing that this device is not yet connected. The module, the TL280 is not yet connected to transmit signal. It needs an internet connection, so that's why you're getting that problem. When you press star 85555, it goes into programming mode. You can always change that to a different code. You have star 85555 901. This put the panel into walk test or test mode. When you finish installing, you want to make sure that all the devices are operational. You would test the panel. You would ensure that the panel is working at its optimum. You have additional features. So as I said, each zone has a different definition, how it's supposed to work. So, for example, if this was in a home or a house setup, you would arm the system as stay. So if you have, say, motions in the corner, what would happen is that when you are inside the building, although you are moving around and the motions are on, they would not trigger the system. Only the perimeter protection, which would be the vibrations or the contacts on the windows and so forth, which I will be doing in another video. I will also be showing what a what a vibration looks like, what a magnetic contact looks like, and what a photo beam looks like. I will also add photos showing the various other devices that can be used. You can also add up to 16 keypads on some systems. It varies. It doesn't really matter. As I said, once you have a basic understanding of electronics and understand what you're doing, it's basically to read and to understand what the system can do and to know what a security system is supposed to do. Right? I'll be doing a little work. If you notice, if I show this here, you have within the perimeter protection, the photo beams, you have transmitters and you have receivers. These are receivers. The transmitters are in the distance. Back on that post over there. Right, that's kind of blurry. But that post that is right there, they pretty much look the same. The difference is one has 4 wires, the other has 2. One only uses power, the other uses power, and it also sends back data signal, right, to the security panel. Now I must also show you something. These security panels come with end of line resistors. What do I mean by end of line? And for those of you who might not know what a resistor is, end of line resistors basically, and I'm going to show you what this is. I have a bag here with some stuff. Hold on just a moment, trying to open this bag. Panel normally comes with 8, sometimes it comes with 16. They might give you an extra amount, but you should take care with not losing them. Some persons use them. The panel it allows you to program it to use whether these resistors. What they do basically, let's get to the point. What these resistors do is they allow the panel to detect if there is a breach. So if somebody is naughty enough to disrupt the wiring or try to tamper, it would detect a different value resistance. Therefore, it would trigger an alarm. Now, let us take this panel out of walk test mode. So you go *85555-901 and the panel comes out of walk test. Now the walk test normally lasts for 15 minutes if it's left unattended. We can go back *85555 4 5s and we go 0 1 5. These are system options. You have key F, yes, we normally enable that. Telephone line monitoring enabled. Inside here you can say no, since we are not using a telephone line. Telephone line when armed, that is no. This is normally left as yes, this is normally no, and we can press to exit. Right, we have the panel goes from 00 all the way up to 999 section numbers. You can read the manual and you can see all that those numbers are for. Basically, the manuals give you a clear understanding of what you're supposed to. So sometimes you might not remember everything. You don't need to. The manuals are always there. With the advent of the internet,